Hey, hello! In this video, I will talk about the time value of money. And I'm really excited because this is my very first video. Of course, the objective is to get you excited. So the time value of money is one of the most basic, but at the same time, fundamental concepts in finance. There's a chance that you already intuitively understand it, even if you never took a single finance class in your life. Either way, we'll go through it. So time value of money, TVM. What do we mean when we say that money has time value? It's basically the idea that money later in the future has to be equivalent to a lower amount of money now. Or to put it differently, an amount of money today has to translate into a greater amount in the future. And what I just said is of course directly related to interest rates and the fact that they are positive, at least under normal economic conditions. So interest rates are greater than zero. This is usually the case. We will discuss in another video about situations where interest rates are negative and the effect that would have on the time value of money. For now, don't worry. Just trust me. We will start with positive interest rates, which is the norm as our base scenario, and as we enhance our financial knowledge, we will introduce more and more complications. Let's move on from here to illustrate the time value of money concept with an example. So I assume that I've managed to save $100 and I want to invest them somewhere in order to get a return on that amount. So I go to the nearby bank. There they offer me a 5% annual interest rate. And we will talk about different types of interest rates in the future. For the time being, let's keep things as simple as possible. So I will deposit my $100 in the bank and I plan to withdraw them in exactly 1 year. I put them at t equals 0, t for time, here's my $100, and I will withdraw them at t equals 1. How much am I going to have in a year's time? And to simplify the analysis, let's assume that this bank is a really credible one. I don't need to worry if the bank's going to be there in a year's time to give me my money back. I know for sure that this bank is a sound institution. In other words, what I'm basically saying is that I shouldn't worry about any credit default risk. And I've written this down. No credit default risk. And in case you are completely new to the world of finance and this terminology seems overwhelming, again, don't worry. We'll cover this material as well. Over here I'm just setting the scene and we'll gradually build on this. So back to our problem. I put $100 at t equals 0. How much am I going to be able to withdraw at t equals 1? The answer shouldn't be trivial. I will have 100 plus the interest on those 100. That is 100 plus 100 times 5%, which is the same as 0.05 if I express it as a decimal. If I factor out 100, this can also be expressed as 100 times 1 plus 0.05. And this is how you'll usually see these problems expressed. If it's difficult for you to see it expressed this way, just expand this and you'll see it's exactly the same as before. This times this is 100 and this times this is 100 times 0.05. Makes sense? So moving on, this equals 100 plus 5, which in turn equals $105. This 5 is the interest received. So to sum up, if I put $100 in the bank today, given a 5% annual interest rate, I will be able to withdraw $105 in a year's time. And this example was an illustration of the time value of money concept. See? It's this simple. Given this positive interest rate, an amount of money today translates into a greater amount of money in the future, in a year's time in this example. And before I close this video, I'd like to test your understanding by posing this question. Given that you live in a world with the conditions we described in this example, and that you are not in immediate need of cash, what would you prefer? $100 today or $105 in a year's time? Spend a few moments on this and then watch the following video to compare your answer with mine. See you!